Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. A few weeks ago, Anthropic released something called Claude Design, and I'm not gonna lie, this might be one of the craziest AI tools I've seen in a while. And I know people say this like every week now. Every other week, they're talking about some new AI tool that's supposed to change business forever and make everybody rich and replace every employee. It's supposed to cook your breakfast and do all of this stuff at the same time. But this one is actually interesting because it solves a real problem and a real business model that people are already making very serious money from. In this video, I'm going to show you how people are using simple t-shirt designs to make thousands of dollars per month, utilizing platforms like Printful, TikTok Shop, Etsy, and Shopify. Then I'm going to show you how Printful and Claude Design can help you create these designs much faster, build design tools from scratch, automate a huge part of this process, and potentially turn this into a real online business for you. And before anybody says, Steven, are people really still making money with t-shirts? Yes, they absolutely are. The difference is that most people are doing it the slow way. They sit in old design tools for hours. They make one design at a time. They get distracted. They overthink fonts, and then they quit after uploading 6 t-shirts because nothing sold in 3 days. But the people who win with this business model, they usually understand one thing. This is a volume game. The more quality listings that you create, the more chances you have to actually get something that will hit. And now with AI tools like Claude Design, you're able to create more designs in one afternoon than most people create in a single month. So in this video, I'll break down the business model. I'll also be discussing how the research works, and we'll explain how much money some shops are currently making. We'll also walk through how you can use Claude and Printful to automate this entire process. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Let's start with the basic idea. There are t-shirts selling right now on TikTok Shop and Etsy that are extremely simple. Now, I'm not talking about some complicated graphic design that took a professional 10 hours to make or create. I'm talking about t-shirts with, let's say, one word or one inspiring phrase. It could even be funny, or a sarcastic sentence, or one relatable saying that's printed in a clean font. For example, take a look at this t-shirt from TikTok Shop that says God has a plan. That's a simple design, but that one listing alone has close to 3,353 sales. Now, when you add up the price of the t-shirts, which is $25.49 without any discount, plus shipping, let's round it up and say an even $35, that one basic listing has generated somewhere around $117,355 in revenue. Now, of course, revenue is not profit. We always have to be honest about that. You still have product cost, shipping cost, platform fees, payment processing fees, and any tools that you also use. But here's the important part. One simple idea, one simple phrase, one simple t-shirt listing brought in tens of thousands of dollars. And that is just one listing. When you look deeper at some of these shops, you start to see the real opportunity. These shops are not relying on one shirt. They have dozens, sometimes even hundreds, sometimes even thousands of listings. Many of the designs follow the exact same formula. It's a simple text, a clean font, a funny, relatable phrase, and it's targeted at a niche audience. That's why this business can work so well. You're not just trying to convince random people to buy something they don't care about. You're creating designs for people who already identify with a niche, a hobby, a personality trait, a job, a pet, a lifestyle, a joke, or some sort of belief. Somebody who loves cats might see a shirt that says something funny about cats and they'll think, well, yeah, that's me. Or somebody who's a tired mom might see a shirt that says something sarcastic about needing coffee, and suddenly that shirt becomes relatable. Or you could even take somebody who works in healthcare, someone that teaches kindergarten, someone that owns 6 dogs or has anxiety or sees a phrase that's personal to them. That's what makes them click. And this is the beauty of this business. The shirts are simple, but the psychology is very powerful. The biggest bottleneck in this business has always been design creation. Even if the designs are simple, it still takes time to create them. You have to come up with a phrase, you have to choose a font, you have to space the text correctly, you have to export the files with a transparent background, you have to make sure the design fits the print area, then you have to repeat that process again and again and again. But Claude Design can help you build your own custom design tools. So instead of you manually creating one shirt design at a time, you now have Claude to build the entire generator for you, and it will create bulk designs based on templates that you have created. For example, let's say you find a design concept like "the gym is my therapy." That could become a template. So instead of you making only one shirt, you can turn that into, let's say, like a dozen of niche variations. For example, reading is my therapy, fishing is my therapy, gardening is my therapy, pickleball, crocheting, gaming, walking my dog, etc. It can keep going on. One proven phrase structure can become a dozen or even hundreds of designs by swapping out one word or one phrase. That's what makes this so powerful. You're not just creating random t-shirts, you're turning proven designs into a repeatable system. Claude Design lets you build tools that can take a template, insert a list of niche words, generate multiple designs, allow you to change the fonts and the layouts, and then you can export the final images as PNG files, and that means that the job is entirely easy for you. You're no longer spending all of your time making designs one by one. Now your job is to research what's selling, build templates around those ideas, create variations, then you upload consistently. That is a much better use of your time. So next, I'll bring you over to Claude Design and I'll show you exactly how easy this can be. So currently we are on Claude.ai and I'm going to show you how to make a simple text bulk generator automation tool. That way we can create hundreds or even thousands of designs if we so chose to do that. Now, in order to do this, I'm going to be using the new Claude Design tool. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you're on at least the Pro plan, and then you want to go over to the option that says Design right here on the left-hand side. Now, this is a completely new design tool by Claude. You'll see all of your options here on the left-hand side with your recent designs here, as well as some examples that Claude actually has of things that you can create. And really cool stuff like you can have a monochronic playing card, or you can have an organic loader. You can also have things like even a calculator kit. So there are plenty of things that you can actually do with this tool. And then we also have our control panel here on the left. So let's actually start by building out a brand new project. And then what I'm going to do is call this our bulk design project. And then you can leave high fidelity checked and then click on create. Now, this is where we can start to build out tools that will actually help us make text designs. Now, I highly recommend that you play around in Claude Design and you try to actually build your own tools. I really want to encourage learning for you. However, I will be showing you a very easy way to do this. So I already went ahead and put together an entire prompt for you that you can actually download. It's going to be down in the description in a Google document. Now, this is the entire prompt already created for you. So again, you can click on that link. You'll get this, and then you just want to copy the entire thing. Once you have this copied, we will go over back to Claude Design. So down at the bottom right here, it's going to be bottom left hand corner. You will then paste our prompt, and then you'll see all the lines here. So it shows 56 lines. Then you will click on send. Now you can see that it created a to-do list with all the elements that we would like, and it's currently writing the script. Now, while we're waiting for this to actually finish writing this script, it is very easy for you to create your own prompt. You do this by actually going back and forth with Claude in chat mode. Now, I'm just going to show you this while we're waiting. It says right here for my prompt, create a prompt that I can use with bulk design generator with PNG download, and the user should be able to change the font and create templates to reuse. And here's an example. Template is my therapy. And then you would send this off to Claude. So right now Claude is working, right? It's reading the fonted design skill. It's doing the bulk quote designs, and you can see it making this in real time. Now, Claude can also work back and forth with you, and it can ask additional questions in order to actually make this tool more precise. And now if we come back into Claude Design, you can see I have not run any other prompts, and this is our bulk T generator tool. So over here on the left, you can see that we have our template builder, and there you see whatever your hobby is my therapy. And here are the values. I could have running, knitting, I could have gardening, I could have yoga. You can add as many as you would like here. Now, of course, you have the presets, or you can actually change this here and create your own, something completely different if you want to change this. So one more noun that I'm going to add right here, or your hobby, I'm just going to add the gym here. And again, you can type in as many of these as you would like. In the middle, you have the design controls where you can actually pick the font that you would like. Anything that you would do, like Oswald, or like, these are all the fonts that normally you would see in most text generators. You also have the text color box here, so you can choose the color, but there's also an option here if you want to change it to maybe a spectrum of a color that you don't see, or a different shade. So I can do red, I can do variations of, white, black. There's a lot of different options here. Let's move it back to black. Then you also have the preview background. It's set to transparent, but you can look at it on a white tee or a black t-shirt. Of course, black text won't show up that well on a black t-shirt, but you understand exactly what I'm trying to show you. You can also transform the letter spacing if you want to do that. There's also a way to change the max text width. There's also font size, right? If we want to change this to be bigger or smaller. Plenty of different options here for you. And this was like in a matter of like maybe 5 or 6 minutes, it created this tool that can give us essentially endless designs. Then you can open up a second window for Claude AI, and I asked it to give me a list of 30 hobby ideas, and I want it formatted like this. You can just copy and paste the option from your bulk design project, and then it's going to give me a list of plenty of other hobbies that I can choose from. And now we have 30 new ideas that we can use for our designs. So I copied my designs, I'm going to paste them in, and now we have plenty of other designs here that we can choose from. So now what I want to do is maybe change this to something that I like a little bit more. I like a bolder text. I think that one looks cool. Maybe a little bit bigger, like right around here. That is good. And then we can click on generate. So now I was able to generate 37 designs all at one time. And then when I'm ready, I can actually go up here and then download all. Now it's going to download 37 designs for me just that quick. So now I've downloaded over 37 designs in, let's say, less than 5 minutes. And again, you can add anything that you want to change this tool. You can change this to a picture. I may go over that in like a future video, but there are ways that you can make this a lot more interactive, or you can make it look even flashier. It's really up to you and what you would like to do. Now, let's talk about how you can actually take these designs that you've created and turn them into real products in less than 10 minutes. Once you have your designs created, this is where print on demand comes into play. Now with print on demand, you don't have to buy inventory up front. Instead, you'll use a fulfillment company like Printful. Now this platform allows you to upload your designs, place it on a product, connect it to your online store, and you can sell it without personally handling the printing or shipping yourself. When a customer places an order, Printful will produce the product and it will ship it directly to the customer. So your job is not to physically make the t-shirt. Your job is to create the design, build the listing, market the product, and make sure that the numbers make sense. Printful is popular because it gives you access to different print providers, which means you can compare cost, shipping rates, and profit margins. So if you're trying to find the lowest cost provider for a specific shirt, Printful can be a great option because you can shop around inside the platform. You can choose from a large catalog of products like t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, hats, totes, bag, posters, phone cases, and a whole lot more. You select the product you want to sell, you upload your design, you position it inside of their product editor, and then Printful gives you a realistic preview of what the finished product will look like. And that's one of the biggest advantages of Printful. They have a built-in design and mockup tool. So even if you're brand new and you don't know how to use, let's say, Photoshop or Illustrator or any complicated design software, you can still create a professional looking product preview directly inside of Printful. All you need to do is upload the PNG designs that we created with Claude. Then you want to place them on the t-shirt, adjust the size, and then center the design. You want to change the print placement and select the product color, and then generate the mockup image for your listing. And that's important because mockups can make or break your product. Customers are not just buying the phrase on the shirt, they're buying the way that the shirt looks in their mind. If your listing photo looks clean, realistic, professional, then that product will instantly feel more trustworthy. Printful also allows you to create product templates, and that is extremely useful if you're making a lot of similar designs. So for example, if you're selling a funny text-based t-shirt, you can set up a template using a specific shirt style, a specific color, a specific print placement, and a specific mockup style. Then when you create a new design, you don't have to start from scratch every single time. You can take one of your designs from Claude, upload your Printful template, make sure that it fits the perfect area correctly, and then turn that into a product much faster. Not only that, Printful will connect with all major selling platforms like Etsy, Shopify, TikTok Shop, Amazon, eBay. It just depends on what you decide to use. So that means that you can build the product inside of Printful, sync it with your store, and when someone buys it, Printful automatically receives that order. Now, there is a link down in the description of this video if you'd like to set up an account with Printful. I highly recommend that you check them out. After you make your design in Claude and your mockups from Printful are ready, the next step is to create your listing. Now, this includes the title, description, tags, keywords, pricing, and of course, the product image. This part matters because marketplaces like Etsy, TikTok Shop, they need to understand what your product is, who it's for, and when to show it to buyers. You can use AI tools to help create optimized listing titles and descriptions. You can give Claude details about the t-shirt, the niche, the target customer, the phrase, the style, the occasion, and then Claude can help you generate a title, tags, descriptions that sound natural while still keeping all of your keywords relevant. The title should be clear, the description should simply explain the product, and the tag should always match what the customer is searching for. And the images should make the shirt look desirable. Now, here's what I really want you to understand. The money is not in randomly making shirts. The money is in building a system. You need to research what's already selling. You can simply do this by going to places like Amazon or TikTok Shop and looking at their most popular shirts. That will give you an idea of the shirts that people already find desirable. The reason that works so effectively is because it identifies niches, you find repeatable phrase structures, and in that way you can create your own original variation of that phrase. You want to use Claude Design to generate designs faster, then use Printful to fulfill the products, and then use better mockups to improve conversions. You can also use AI to help write optimized listings and then upload consistently. That is the process. Now, this does not mean that every t-shirt you make will sell. It does not guarantee that you'll make thousands of dollars. It does not mean that AI is doing all the work and you just sit back and watch the money fall from the sky, but it does make the barrier to entry a lot lower when you're using these tools. Because before, if you wanted to create, let's say 100 designs, you either would need design skills or a lot of time or money to pay designers. Now you can create your own internal tool that can actually make this process move a lot faster. That speed really does matter because let's say you make 500 designs and you test them all. You're going to find a winning design very, very quickly, whereas somebody else might take hours, weeks, just to make 10 designs. Now, I have an entire video called How to Start with $25 and Build Real Business Income Online. In that video, I show you how to market print on demand products using short form content and social media. So if you're interested in that, I'm gonna link that video right here. However, I believe that you should always find a niche that identifies with you, your beliefs, and your audience. For example, if you go to my website, successwithstevensmith.com, I have my own Printful store, right? It's right there below all of my ebooks, and there are phrases and things that would align with my audience and my own beliefs. Now, that brings us to Marketplace. Now, the marketplace is Shopify for me. However, the way that I market is through YouTube. So there is no one size fits all way that you have to do this. By having all of these templates and designs, you're going to find a winning niche faster. You're going to build a bigger catalog faster. And in this business, data beats guessing all the time. If I were to start this business from scratch today, I would keep it very simple. I would choose one platform first. I would not try to master Etsy, TikTok Shop, Amazon, Shopify, Instagram, Pinterest. That is way too much. If you try to master all of these platforms at the same time, that's how people get overwhelmed and that's how they quit. If I had to give you my top 3 options, it would be Shopify, Etsy, or TikTok Shop. Those are the places that I would focus on. Then I would choose 3 to 5 niches and I would research what's already selling in those niches. I would then look for simple designs that are repeatable phrases, popular shirt colors, common mock-up styles, and then pricing patterns. After that, I would use Claude to help me brainstorm original phrase variations. I would build a few design generators in Claude Design, and then I would create batches of designs that I would upload through Printful and then create high quality mock-ups and write optimized listings. Then I would repeat the process consistently. The goal is not to get rich from one shirt. The goal is to build a machine. Create designs, upload listings, watch what gets views, watch what gets clicks, watch what gets favorited, and watch what sells. Then create more of what works, and that is how you improve. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. So is Claude Design going to make everybody rich from selling t-shirts? No, but it can give serious sellers a massive advantage. That is absolutely true. Because the hardest part of this business has been staying consistent. Most people stop because it takes too long to create enough designs, and Claude Design can help remove that bottleneck. You can now build your own tools, create bulk designs, test ideas faster, and automate parts of the process that used to slow people down. And when you combine that with marketplaces where people are already shopping, companies like Printful that handle production and shipping, and AI tools that can help with listing optimization, you start to see how powerful this can become. This is not magic, it's not a guaranteed thing, but it is a real opportunity if you're willing to learn the process and put in the work. So if you've been looking for an online business where it doesn't require inventory or require you to have a huge upfront investment, and it can be scaled with creativity, research, and consistency, then this is definitely something worth paying attention to. And honestly, tools like Claude Design are only going to get better from here. So let me know in the comments if you would use Claude Design to build a t-shirt business, or if you would like to use something else completely different. And let me know in the comments if you've already tried out Printful and how using that platform has been for you. And as always, if you found value in this video, please make sure that you subscribe, because this channel is all about talking about money, business, credit, and tools that can help you build a better financial future. And as always, thank you again so much for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.